The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Variety Channel. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericavariety.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
This program contains explicit content and subject matter which may be unsuitable for some listeners. Discretion is advised.
Well, I think we should just bring on Paulie, better known as Burt Young.
They're talking about a movie called Creed.
You know what, though? You better have Paulie in that movie.
If they dump me, it'll be sacrilegious.
Hi, Mario Lopez. Mario, how's it going tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. And you got a lot of Hollywood hotties hitting on you, or what? You were like a Miley Cyrus. That shit works, you know. And I
haven't known her since she was a little girl. She's real sweet, and she's grown up.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, she has.
Mr. Gianni Russo played Carlo Rizzi in the original Godfather. James Caan, filthy asshole.
He broke two of your ribs, you saying?
With the kicking when I crawled out, going to the fire hydrant.
Mm-hmm.
We want to introduce Mr. Box Rutten.
How many bouncers did you take out at that one time in Sweden?
There were 5 of them, so I had every one I dropped, but they would keep coming back up, you know. So
Mario Andretti. Mario, how are you this evening?
Wonderful, guys. Greg, one question. If I call you the Rambling Freak, will you squash me like a bug?
And what better way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with two greaseballs, Greg Valentino, Joe Pietaro, here on Extreme Radio. Greg, how do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day? A little macaroni and gravy?
You ain't kidding, baby. I tell you what, fuck that, spaghetti and meatballs, you know. I mean, what people don't understand is, you know, I'm from the Bronx, you're from Brooklyn. I mean, growing up, it was always the Italians versus the Irish, you know what I'm saying? It was always like that, right?
Yeah, Irish and Italian always had fights, but you know what? I get along with the Irish guys. I had a lot of cool Irish friends. We always laughed and broke each other's balls. And you know what was the best? Irish and Italian guys fuck with each other. There is no fucking borders. There's no boundaries. You could say that I fucked your grandmother and all of this shit, and basically it's all good. No punches are thrown over that. That's all fair game shit. So there's none of this like, oh, how could you dare say that or that word or this? Fuck that. Irish and Italian guys just go at it, man. So I mad respect that for my Irish brothers. That just sounds so fucking lame, doesn't it?
I know. Well, you know what? In honor of the Irish, maybe later I'll have some spaghetti and meatballs, and I'll make sure it's green.
Hey, dude, you know what? I actually just had some corned beef because my fucking wife is half Irish, half Italian, so she loves the corned beef. But I like it. It's fucking meat, man. What the fuck? I ate it, you know?
Yeah, but my wife's freaking... Well, not my wife. My girlfriend. She's Mexican, bro. Why, fucking... If I ate what she eats or what she cooked, I'd be dead. You know what I mean? She called that spicy, hot fucking... I don't eat Mexican food. And she likes that real spicy shit. You know, I can't eat that, bro. You know,
bro, man.
I don't even eat garlic.
Talking about fucking spicy shit, we got a spicy show tonight. We got Artie Lange leading us off in a couple of moments, going to come on. Artie Lange is an Artie Lange show. Obviously, everybody knows that, but he's usually famous from the Howard Stern and the original cast, one of the original 8 cast members of Mad TV. And I've always been a big fan of Mad TV, and I watched it from day one, and Artie was one of the guys on it, and he kind of springboarded from there. He's a fucking world-famous comic. He's insane with his book Crash and Burn, which was a great book. And then coming up after Artie, we're going to have Bruce Kulick from rock band Kiss and Grand Funk Railroad, so that's going to be fun. Bruce kind of got fucked in the ass when Kiss went back to their makeup, and they didn't bring him along with them after 12 years of playing with the fucking band. I think he did like fucking 5 recorded albums with them, a couple of live albums,
right.
And then they put somebody else in Ace's makeup, and it's kind of fucked up, man, after Ace left the band. Listen, one thing is you get, if they go back to the original guy to help form the band and start them up, but if they bring another guy in to fucking wear that makeup after you've been playing those songs for 12 years, I don't know, man. I'd have a fucking hard on. That's a backstabbing move, and we know a lot about shit like that, man, unfortunately.
Oh, dude, well, we live in a... right?
We got a lot of Paul Stanleys and Gene Simmonses in the fucking world.
Holy Christ. Our team, forget it.
Oh, no backup here. Fucking walk in the fucking line without a fucking net. But, hey, listen, I think it's time that we bring in Artie fucking Lange right now. So let's bring Artie Lange into Extreme Radio.
Hey, Artie, so tell us a little bit about the Artie Lange Show. I check it out on DirecTV, and I tell you, man, I laugh my balls off watching this. Why don't you give us a quick recap of what's going on over there on it?
Oh, well, it's a sports-based show, but it's comedy, and it's really about whatever I want to talk about. It's fun. It's, DirecTV, which is a great network if you're a sports fan, but they let me talk about anything, and it's on TV and radio at the same time, and we have bands on, and just anything that a comic who's a sports fan would want to talk about. It's fun.
Kind of like what we got going on here, Greg, right? Whatever we feel like talking about, we just talk about.
Hey, Artie, you got to get us on there. We'll do some stuff.
Yeah,
Artie,
come on.
Artie, fun. When were you with Stern? What year was that? Do you remember? Because I was on the Stern show, and he actually had me on. I don't know if you remember. It was, I think, 2004. Because I had a fight with Mark Wahlberg in a nightclub, and he wanted me to fight him in a ring and stuff, and Wahlberg didn't want to do anything, and then he didn't. It was back when that Italian Job movie came in. I don't know if you remember that.
I was on the Stern Show from 2001 to 2009, so 8.5 years I was on there. So I was probably so much stuff happened. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, it was 2004 is when it was, and he actually even used to have me on his website when you first click on. This is Greg Valentino. I'm the guy, with the biggest arms, all that crap. But,
right. I remember that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because remember Wahlberg was when he was calling in, and then Wahlberg didn't show, and he was, freaking out. I had Stuttering John call my house at, 7 in the morning.
Yeah, that's what happens. Live radio is crazy.
I wanted to ask you, I remember you going off on TV on somebody. I can't remember what interview it was. You were kind of going ballistic. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It was funny. I was laughing my ass off.
I was going ballistic on you talking about the Joe Buck show, maybe?
Yes. Oh, shit. Yes. What was that again? I remember watching it, laughing my ass off.
Yeah, well, he had a live show on HBO, and they asked me to come on and bust his chops, and that's what I did, but I did it because it was HBO, and I was cursing, and they got mad that I cursed too much, and believe me, I always liked Joe. I'm still friends with him. It wasn't meant to be anything but just a couple of friends busting balls, and they got mad. HBO got mad, not Joe. HBO got mad that I cursed too much. I said, well, it's HBO. It's not CBS, And, but typical, with me, a lot of people get offended, but I was just trying to make the show funny,
Do you know what, Artie? That was the funniest part of that whole show. If you cut that out, I could have fell asleep watching that shit.
Joe was great.
Literally on the ground.
Yeah, Joe was great, but he had a couple of people like Chad Ochocinco, Brett Favre, who just were kind of boring, didn't give him anything at all. And at the end of the show, I came on and I just tried to make it exciting,
You did. I'm going to tell you something. That was, I couldn't remember the show, but I just remember laughing so fucking hard. It was incredible. Because you had me, that show, I remember sitting there going, man, this is boring. And you went off.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need that. And HBO, I initially didn't see it that way. Then, of course, they put in the newspaper the next day. It was headlines in the New York Post, HBO bans Artie Lange from HBO, whatever. And then they realized that they needed it for the ratings, so they called me the next week and asked me to come back on. It was funny.
Yeah, that's the way it is, right? Yeah, until they need you. But that to me, that made that show, and not for nothing. You gave them what you gave them their money's worth, really. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I tried to. I went on to promote my book, and it definitely did that because it got a lot of publicity.
And, you know, what's also cool is that Joe Buck, he did the forward to Crash and Burn. So he was, like you said, Joe had no problem with it. And then if you read the forward, you can see that's exactly what how you describe it, Artie. He was totally cool with it. He loved it. It was, to him, it was a good, funny, you know, piece. And it's amazing how a network like HBO, why the fuck they would get pissed off at something where it worked. You know, it's like, why would you not go with something that people are going with?
That's the media for you. They do everything ass backwards, man.
Yeah, well, we know that, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Boy, let me tell you something. You know what, Artie, though? I live by a creed. There's no such thing as bad publicity unless it's your obituary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you don't want to see your name in.
I mean, you read all kinds of stuff about me on that and freaking that, but... You know, yeah, I remember that, but I think that actually was, I mean, after that, Joe Buck's show kind of got canned, didn't it? I mean, it didn't really go anywhere.
Well, it was only on for 4 shows. That was the first one, but I mean, Joe did a really great job hosting it. He's funny. I don't think the problem was him, but you know, again, you gotta, with shows like that, if you're gonna book guests, they gotta give you something. And he had Brett Favre, I think they thought was going to announce his retirement or say he's coming back, and he didn't say anything, either one of them. And Ocho Cinco just sat there like a bore, so it hurt you, you know.
I mean, yeah, they should have made you co-host to that show.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I go for that. That's why I like what I do now, because it's kind of, they let me do whatever I want. It's fun.
That's the way it should be. You know, it is, and then it's like when they had Gervais hosting one of those fucking award shows that I could give two shits about. I mean, he was breaking balls, and he just killed, and they fucking ripped him apart the next day. It's like, what did you want? This is what this guy does. And everybody in the audience was laughing. The people he was breaking their balls, they were laughing. It's like, so why is everybody afraid of having somebody do something that works and makes people laugh? It's like, it's amazing how there's no more line anymore where comedy is taken seriously now. I mean, how fucking frustrating is that as a comic like yourself, Artie?
Well, yeah, you know, if you can't, if a comedian can't be sort of offensive and pushing the envelope, then there's no reason to have them. That's what a comedian's supposed to do. Hollywood, a lot of, especially at award shows, they take themselves way too seriously, and they don't want any piece of being made fun of. And Gervais, I watched it that night. Yeah, he took a hit because he treated it like a roast, and Hollywood's way too uptight for that. But a comedian, you can't handcuff them. You know, you got to let them go crazy, and that's what the best ones usually do. So I remember watching Gervais on that too, thinking the same thing. You know.
He was fucking great. I mean, it made a boring, shit-ass show interesting to watch. You know,
he
actually did the job. Great.
You know, we're famous for being fuck-ups for, you know, it's just great.
And then you get some dipshit like Billy Crystal who does the stupid fucking voice with those dumb fucking eyes, and he's just so fucking over. I mean, listen, listen, when he dropped the fucking you know, the soap, the whole gig and soap, that was it. To me, that was the last time he ever made me fucking laugh, when he was having a gay guy on soap. And the
he's definitely a guy
or whatever. You know,
Hollywood likes a guy like that, you know, because he doesn't really take any risks with it, you know.
He fucking blows.
Do you get any grief from Hollywood yourself? Is there anybody in Hollywood that, like, rubs you the wrong way or, like, has it out for you or any of that stuff? Because you're definitely, like, cutting edge, you know what I mean?
I mean, I definitely, you know, HBO is definitely someone who they wouldn't talk to me for a couple of years after that. You know, I've said stuff on the radio about people where they don't want to, you know, come on my show as a guest. And you never know in Hollywood who you offend. That's the thing about it. That's what's scary. You could say something in the media about somebody and they don't like it, and you can't get in a movie for some reason or on a TV show for some reason, because you find out that the person you offended is either involved with that show or knows someone who is and tells them, look, don't book this guy. I mean, it's a business about personal relationships, and that's what happens. You don't know if you make a powerful enemy. It's scary.
Absolutely. But what about these roasts where people bring up, I mean, you could talk about somebody's children in a roast, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the roasts are a different story because, people go into it thinking that, but at the same time, you make a good point. There's some people who don't understand what a roast is, and they get offended. They get offended even though they're not supposed to, and they shouldn't sign up to do it if that's going to be the case.
If you think about it, I've seen guys talk about, another guy's kids and stuff, you know what I mean, or make, they'll make jokes about, and anything goes when it's a roast. But to me, that's comedy, though. There's no such thing as racism or sexism when it comes to, comedy. Am I right or wrong? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's funny. You get away with it. If something's really funny, you can usually get away with it. But the roasts lately are getting crazy. They're really going over the line, a lot of them. And like you say, there's nothing sacred. It used to be a case where people only roasted people they kind of knew, and you knew that they had a sense of humor about it because you were their buddy. But now strangers roast strangers, and they say shit that you don't know if they're going to get offended, and sometimes they do. And before you know it, there's a real beef going on,
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You get a chance. Do you get a chance to bang any Hollywood broads or anything, or no?
I never banged anybody famous. I banged a couple of Playboy lingerie chicks. That was great.
That's good, man. Nothing wrong with that.
In LA, but nobody had like a big day. I believe me. I love to say I fucked like for Aniston or something, but it never happened.
So the book is this is your second book. You had Too Fat for Fish now, Crash and Burn, came out in October, and it's doing phenomenal. I read it myself. It's just it's a panic to fucking read, and it's really I gotta be honest with you, Artie. It's great to read, but also it's like almost like I shake sometimes reading and saying, holy shit, how things that you did, it was amazing. And then, but it's what? Every time you always landed on your feet, which is to me that's like the fucking bottom line, is that you're always able to land on your feet, and you're not with Howard Stern's show anymore. You have your own show now. You have a lot of things going on. You're still fucking gigging. You're doing great stand-up stuff. You've done some TV and movies and things like that. So basically, what's been going on with the book as far as like, feedback and shit like that you've been getting from it?
Well, I appreciate you saying all that. It's been great. People love it. It debuted on the New York Times bestsellers list, so it's the second bestseller I've had in 5 years, and I'm proud of it. People really like it, and it's still selling. And like you say, it's crazy, but it's honest. I want it to be honest, and maybe help some people. They look at it and go, shit, I'm not going to do what this guy did. I got very lucky by landing on my feet, and you can't plan on that. I lucked way the fuck out, and I had a lot of good people in my life, good agents, managers, a good lawyer. That's what you need, and a couple of good doctors, and I'm still here and I'm kicking. I feel blessed, if I write a third book, hopefully it'll be about something different.
Yeah, but you know what? You had some people that really stood by you in that book, and it was kind of nice to see that they really busted their ass, and they made sure that you did what you had to do to land on your feet and things like that. As far as your site is artiequitter.com, QUITTER, and we'll have a link to that in the preview article for this episode. And also you have the book stuff going on, and also as far as some of your personal appearances coming up in the club scene and things like that. So let's just look over a couple of them. You have March 29th, Connecticut, Ridgefield Playhouse, and also April 12th in Michigan, Royal Oak Music Theater. So what should some people expect as far as your live act goes, Artie?
Well, it's, again, like you say, I'm lucky enough to where my stand-up act still gets a lot of people who go see it. It's basically stories about my life that are kind of crazy. This set that I'm doing in May, I'm going to tape my my third stand-up special, my second at Comedy Central, and it's about stories about being in rehab, a couple of hospitals I was in, and the counselors that I had, and impressions of them, and, sort of opinions on how the world can change so quick when you're away for a while in rehab. Stuff gets crazy. And it's, my look at things. Mostly it's about my life and stories about it,
And just give us a little, your co-host on the Artie Lange show, because I know you did it with Nick DiPaolo for a little while, and now you got some different guys on there. Nick is fucking incredible, by the way, but you carried on a great tradition after the Nick and Artie show finished. So who are the other guys you have on there with you?
Well, John Ritchie is a guy who was a professional football player, played for the Raiders and the Eagles, and he played in 2 Super Bowls. He was a great fullback and a guy that the fans loved because he was gritty, always had a bloody face. He was always down deep in the action, and he's also got a good sense of humor, so he gives the show street cred because he was in Super Bowls, and he can roll with the punches sense of humor-wise. So I feel lucky to have him. Nick DiPaolo is one of the best comics ever, and I loved working with him, and he's still one of my best friends, and he went his own direction, and John came in, and he's doing a great job. I appreciate John a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that show really works. I mean, I catch it on DirecTV. I think it's on the Audience channel, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, it's the Audience Network on DirecTV. Okay. Yeah, channel 239.
And I catch it on 500 also. It's on 2 channels on DirecTV, and it's great. It's you see the whole set there. It's like the simulcast that a lot of radio guys are doing now. But I think it really works for you guys, and it's really cool. You see how you guys are just like Gregg and I show. We're just guys sitting there bullshitting, and then whatever comes up, comes up. You guys cover a lot of sports. You cover a lot of, pop culture shit. You're talking about what's going on in the news, and to me, it's great, man. It's just kind of guys talking, and you can't beat that as a guy, a fan watching it.
Well, I appreciate it. It's fun. You guys got to come on one day. It's a fun studio they built us,
Oh, bro, you don't have to fucking tell us twice.
We're right here in New York City, baby. We'll rock and roll.
Yeah, right down in the village in Soho. They built this, DirecTV built us this 7,000 square foot loft. It's got a batting cage and a kitchen and pool table. It's great. So.
Oh, man. Dude, say the word. You tell us when, and we'll be there, Artie.
Absolutely, man.
You don't have to twist my fucking arm.
Yeah, we'll have fun. Plus, we're sports.
The guy there who booked me, you can do it through the guy, my friend Tim, that booked this. Tell him to set it up through him. We'll get you guys on.
I am going to fucking definitely do that. Artie, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on Extreme Radio. Anything else you want to plug? You got the site, Artie Quitter. Anything else you want to plug?
No, Artie Quitter's got all the stuff. That's Twitter and everything. And like you say, I got March 29th in Connecticut, April 12th. The Royal Oak is right outside of Detroit. And in May, I'm taping another special. So I'm keeping going. And if you pick up Crash and Burn, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You got it, Artie. Thanks so much for joining us today.
You guys keep up the good work. Good luck.
Talk, talk, talk. That's all we do is talk. If you'd like to talk, call us toll-free right now at 1-866-472-5787. 1-866-472-5787.
That's it.
VoiceAmerica.com.
This is Jim Kelly, former Buffalo Bills quarterback and Pro Football Hall of Famer, and you're listening to Joe Pitaro and Greg Valentino.
Fitness RX for Men is the ultimate men's print publication, website, and radio show. More than just fitness, we'll also bring you the best news in sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. Fitness RX for Men was established first as a magazine in 2003. Be sure to visit our website, www.fitnessrxformen.com, and check out our social media pages for up-to-the-minute news and tips every day. It's your ultimate prescription for the perfect body. Visit fitnessrxformen.com today.
Oh, how the fuck are you? Max Cook here. Let me tell you something. I had a lot of fun talking to Joe and Greg. Couple of top-shelf margaritas, those two. Now, you're going to do me a favor. You're going to go to YouTube, and you're going to type in Max Cook, M-A-X-K-O-C-H, you strunts. And you're going to watch my videos. And you're going to fucking like them. Or we're going to have a problem.
This is Ernie Banks. You listen to Gregg and Joe. They're great guys.
Talk, talk, talk. That's all we do is talk. If you'd like to talk, call us toll-free right now at 1-866-472-5787. 1-866-472-5787.
That's it.
VoiceAmerica.com.
Hey, it's Artie Lange, and you're listening to Gregg and Joe. Check it out.
You are listening to Fitness RX Radio with hosts Greg Valentino and Joe Piatero. If you have a question or comment for our show today, please call 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You can also send an email to jpiatero@advancedresearchmedia.com. Now, back to Fitness RX Radio.
And thanks again to Artie Lange. Make sure you check out Artie Quitter on Twitter and Artie's great book, Crash and Burn. But, Greg, we want to acknowledge a brand new sponsor, Lift Tag Sport, right now to Extreme Radio. Lift Tag Sport takes pride in our relentless commitment to the research and development of high-caliber sports, performance, and nutrition products since 2011, Greg.
Nice.
The art facilities in Belgium and Germany. Dude, these guys are freaking Germany, so how bad can it be? They fucking make Mercedes-Benz and BMWs over there. To the on-site expert chemist, Lift Tag Sports products will continue to provide you with superior supplements and beverages to reach any goal. Their Lift Tag Sport brand is synonymous with premium top-of-the-line sports performance beverages, including U-Lift Amino Protein, U-Lift Endurance, and U-Lift Fat Burner, as well as the most innovative pre-workout powder on the market, U-Lift Performance. With targeted performance design and an attention to quality ingredients, Lift Tag Sport will continue to make your supplement decision-making process easier. Train with confidence knowing that your sports performance products are helping you maximize every session, every time, young Gregory. And they're Lift Tag Sport, Liftag Sport.com, and, of course, Facebook.com/Lift Tag Sport. You see all of the links we got going on there in our banner, right in the episode preview article, and all over the skins on FitnessRxForMen.com, our parent site. But, Greg, right now, I'm a big fan of KISS, as you well know. I've been talking about them a lot as we've been doing the show over the past few months. I've seen KISS in concert. I can't even count how many times. I believe the first album I bought might have been Dressed to Kill, if I do remember correctly. But right now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a 12-year member of the band KISS and current member of Grand Funk Railroad, Mr. Bruce Kulick. Bruce, welcome to Extreme Radio.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey, Bruce, welcome.
Thank you very much. I don't know how I could follow, an Artie Lange,
Artie's pretty cool, man, yeah.
I used to be one of the biggest Howard Stern fans, so whenever he was on there, I think, I don't know if they ever repaired that falling out or whatever, but still, that's how I was turned on to him, and what a character, very funny guy, too.
Yeah, Artie's great.
Really big fan.
Yeah, Mad TV too. We were
the
intro
exactly.
of the show. He was one of the original cast members when that show first kicked on Fox. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but that was a fun one for Greg and I. We both like to laugh, but we like to rock and roll too. And
well, that's my job here.
That's your job. So we're going to talk a little bit about your time in KISS. Obviously, we'll talk about your solo stuff you had going on, and Grand Funk Railroad. Also, we have another interview. Bruce and I were talking with Greg on the break, and we have Don Brewer, the lead singer.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, he's got great stories because he really lived it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but you lived it too. You said you've been with them 14 years. You've been touring with Grand Funk now. So.
Yes, I mean, believe me, those are the okay, let's do the gig, get the job done, go home to our families. They're fly dates, Really, the KISS years are when you're, flying around the world, and then, or you're on a bus and you're out there for 2 or 3 months straight, and you're hiding from the fans in the hotel because, I remember when I first joined the band, it felt like I was in the Beatles or something because you couldn't go anywhere, you know what I mean, without people screaming and trying to grab you. It was pretty exciting, I tell you. But
I'm sure it was, man.
You walk into a situation like that, they already established the fame for the band, so that's why. I mean, I really I had a good background to make it work for me, because it's not an easy gig to walk into, because you're filling big shoes between having Ace and then the makeup era. But by the time I joined in '84, they were already going through some changes. They already just took off the makeup like a year earlier. And MTV was pushing kind of what I'd call more like hair metal, but Kiss had that advantage of being Kiss, and even though there was no makeup, and it was all about, a real attitude and big guitars and great rock and roll music. So the fans were like, chasing us.
Bruce, did you feel cheated that you never got a chance to wear the makeup, just out of curiosity, or you don't care?
I always get asked that. I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, that wasn't really my thing. When I was, I'm a big fan of many, many bands. Obviously, I wouldn't be where I was if I wasn't influenced by people like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. And even, for example, like when David Bowie put out that record where he has like this makeup going across his face, the lightning bolt or something,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at that album cover back in the album days, right? And I'm like, what the hell is that? you know what I mean? So you can imagine my first reaction to Kiss when I heard of them, it was not going to be favorable immediately, because I'm like, well, what's the deal here? But it took actually my brother getting to know them. I mean, he auditioned for the band too, my older brother Bob, and we're both growing up in New York. And then my brother started, to stay in touch with them, even though he didn't get the gig. Ace Frehley did. But ironically, from that, I got to be, introduced to them and be their friends too. I remember going to clubs in the city with Paul Stanley, and or we'd hit a movie or something. But once I saw them in '78 and really do what they do, at least the makeup era, I was very impressed. Before that, I was a bit of a music snob. It wasn't something that I was naturally attracted to. Although I got to admit, when my brother played me the Destroyer album, which Bob Ezrin produced, who I'm a big fan of, I was very impressed. So again. Did I ever want to wear the makeup, or was that my attraction to the band? No, it was always more about the music and the attitude that the band, and also, the kind of what the band always sings about and makes mostly males and some women feel. It's a good message. It's not a depressing thing. I think it's more like a kind of, you want to feel good about yourself, and we have some real diehard fans, and I'm saying we because haven't been with them since '96, and there are people born after '96 that are huge fans of mine. Follow me on Twitter or join my Facebook and buy my music. So I'm part of the family.
Yeah, well, you were definitely with them long enough to be called, to say we. That's for sure. I mean, you weren't like some flash in the pan. You were there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the 12 years. I mean, you think about it, and not only just 12 years, it was all the touring and all the records sold. I mean, at minimum, I sold like 6 or 7 million records during my time in the band. And I'm saying minimum, meaning I'm only counting gold when it could be at 900,000. Gold's 500. But again, these Kissology DVDs that came out and everything that's on YouTube, and I mean everything. You know what I mean? It's amazing when I meet. Sometimes I do events that are definitely for the Kiss fans. Like coming up at the end of the month, I'll be in Vegas where there's a mini golf place that's themed after Kiss. It's all black light, and they play Kiss music, and your mini golf game is in the black light with all these kind of, Kiss-related things everywhere as your obstacles. It's really actually pretty challenging. It's a lot of fun. So their second anniversary, and the people that run the place have a lot of Kiss merchandise there and rare things, in fact, from various members. And I'm going to be there. So I'll meet like very dedicated Kiss fans that day, and it's always crazy because the whole family will come. And then the little, 9-year-old will be looking at me like, oh, goo-goo, you know what I mean? And I'm like, how could she even know anything about me? And then you think about the power of YouTube and the DVDs and the albums that the parents shared, and they strike a chord with these, young people. And that's what's amazing about Kiss to me. And
yeah, I don't know why they went back to the music. I'm sorry, Joey. I don't know why they went back to the friggin'... Why did they go back to the...
Well, the makeup...
I like the music. I agree with you.
It was
I'm closer to your age, so I grew up. I like your actual music. I remember hearing, like Detroit, Rock City, and all those different, Flaming Youth, before I ever saw what they looked like. I heard those songs before I saw what they looked like. I already liked it.
All the music was valid, makeup or not, because obviously we did, my era of the band with no makeup did play some of the classic Kiss songs, and of course we moved forward with new music. And I have to admit, like Alive 3, which I think is a terrific, there were two previous ones, but it was a terrific representation of my era, which included some of the more current songs from that version of the band and then the classics. That sounds great, and when I go perform sometimes with people and I have them learn, I like when we do whatever from that album particularly. But honestly, why they put it back on, I have this theory that pop culture has these like kind of cycles, just like Star Wars. And it's a really fair analogy. You know that Star Wars was huge, came out with the first couple of movies and everything, right, and then went away for quite a while, okay? It just went away. And it rebooted about 20 years later, okay? I'm not going to be factual with you, but I know it was around 20 years. Mm-hmm. And that was really the lifespan with Kiss taking the makeup off, or rather the initial fame that they had, which was about 75 is when they really hit. And in 96 is when they had, it was the right time. We did MTV Unplugged. They finally brought out Ace and Peter. It was Kumbaya. We all played together acoustically. The old band did a couple of songs, and we all joined. The new band was doing the majority of the performance that night. But the crowd went crazy, and then the offers were there, and, it was obviously a good move business-wise for all of those guys. Not a good business move from me and Eric Singer at the time, but they paid me for a year. I can't complain. And even though they thought it might crash and burn very quickly, it actually rebranded themselves. And the makeup's iconic. You know that you can't go anywhere in the world without not seeing sometimes like Gene's makeup on something. I'll see a sticker in the middle of nowhere on a pole at a outside of an airport, and there it is. Gene's makeup on like a monkey or whatever. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. It's just it, and you shouldn't. It's all good. I mean, there's something about what they created and what they represent as the characters and without, like you saying, you're a fan of the music that works. It strikes a chord in people that they respond.
Now, Bruce, if they did decide to do, let's say to continue with the makeup, and now Vinny and Mark left and you joined,
mm-hmm.
Was there any ideas of another makeup after Vinny?
Yeah, I know where you're going. Okay. Well, it wasn't easy for Eric Carr to find the fox. He was actually supposed to be something else before
like
that.
A chicken or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he wasn't happy with it. Yeah. And then Vinny became the Ankh, whatever. Yeah. I always make a joke, there's a cat man, and of course my good friend Eric Singer has been the cat man now for many years, and I always joke I'd be the dog, you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of dogs. For many years I had dogs, and it was almost like a little inside joke. My first solo record, after Kiss, I had a band with John Corabi called Union, and we put out a few, original albums and a live record and a DVD, and then we kind of like, well, all right, what are we going to do? I kind of hit a wall. I started working on my own music. I took a lot of the old stuff that Kiss didn't finish that I presented, and I did a record called, I didn't know what to call it really, but at the time I was crazy about my little best friend, which was Joe. So I did, I call the album Audio Dog, and right now it's part of one of my emails and everything. So, and I just joke about that I would be the dog. But, I don't think they'll ever add another character, from now on it's going to be the spaceman, the cat, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you mentioned John Corabi. We actually had him on this show about a month or so ago.
Cool.
He was great, yeah.
I've continued to do things with John through the years, and we keep in touch, he's very talented.
Yeah. I believe your name came up during an interview, and I think I told him that we were booking a date with you, too, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But,
yep.
What's that, Greg?
Yeah, I said you're right. I remember that. You did bring it up.
Yeah, Bruce, I thought I remember that. Now, you mentioned Eric Singer before. We know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, he took Peter's place, and then Peter came back, and then Peter left. Eric came back. Peter came back. Eric left. Now Eric's back. Did you ever feel that, they went to Tommy instead of you? Isn't that, and he's like, I don't, even if you don't have to have hard feelings, just like, shit, I could have did that too,
Yeah,
man.
I was pretty stressed when obviously, as you can imagine, because I'm close to people either in the band or with the band, that I was aware there were times when Ace was causing problems, and I was always thinking, like, what do I do? I was already working with Grand Funk. I started that gig in 2000, actually. But what do I do if they ask me? And also knowing the precarious situation that they hired Eric and asked him to help out. And then when a promoter needed, at least 3 original members, all of a sudden Peter is back on tour. You see what I'm saying? And then of course, that was the end of Peter, and I think it's been Eric pretty solid since then.
Yeah.
But the point is, I wasn't really, as much as I miss being in KISS. I'm not going to deny that because, it's such a huge band, and I know I get that music and play it well, and my fans, really appreciate me, period. But I didn't want to necessarily relish the fact that someone may say, like, okay, you got the gig, but you got to be the spaceman now, and now you got to do more of Ace's mannerisms and play his music, his solos more like Ace. I represent definitely an era that I wasn't really that handicapped or kind of like, handcuffed, shall I say, on the guitar to be too much like anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could, certainly when we would do Cold Gin, it's not like I didn't play the riffs or didn't make it feel like a vintage song, but I didn't have to do it note for note. Now, Tommy was an excellent guitarist. He knew that role. He was on tour with them. He was like working for them, and Tommy was even in a tribute band besides, of course, Black and Blue, which was a gold or platinum band from the Hair days. So it was just so natural. I always looked at Tommy as being the perfect, kind of like that person at a Broadway play. What do they call it? The stand-in. Come on, guys, help me out here. Understudy, you know what I'm saying? The understudy needs, tonight performing as, right? The lead in the movie, the play is, and there's someone that knows the role and does it, that you don't miss anything, So they had to go to Tommy a couple of times, and it was pretty seamless. Believe me, it would have been a little more of a challenge for me, and besides the fact, I think the fans really know me for the non-makeup era, and I really love kind of waving the flag for that myself,
Yeah, no, that's a great take on it. And, I mean, I never looked at it that way. That, it would have been kind of odd if now you, instead of being yourself and being the guitarist from KISS, now you had to be, Ace.
But I get asked that all the time, and I have to explain to the fans, I mean, I didn't really want to be the spaceman, and certainly Tommy, if that's what Ace and, Gene and Paul certainly were looking for more like, well, we're in this makeup mode, we're all, in the character now, we want, well, how does all of a sudden Bruce turn into the spaceman? I never had to do that before, Eric's a little different. You're behind the drums. He only had 5 years in the band without the makeup, and there was a lot of things going on in the band then, although we did, Revenge, which was my favorite record. But it was just a little easier, I think, for Eric just to slip right into the cat suit and do a great job,
Yeah, definitely. And we got about a little less than a minute before we got to go to break, Bruce. So I want to give you a chance to plug your sites and anything else you'd like to plug. So go ahead, bro.
Well, for all things Bruce is, of course, Kulick.net, and that's the website. But many fans now. I got over 100,000, which is wonderful, on my Facebook, which is official Bruce Kulick, And, I think my Twitter is just my name, too. It's not hard. And I do enjoy keeping in touch with people. I got married in January to my lovely wife, Lisa, now. And there's a wedding video if anybody would love to hear her sing a beautiful song and me play jazz guitar instead of rock guitar. Just put in Bruce Kulick Wedding on YouTube and it will come up. It's got great pictures, and I have to be, honest that it was a very special day. But not only that, we were talking so much about KISS. Gene and Paul came, and Eric Singer, of course, and it was a lot of fun. I'll never forget that day. Other than that, come see me on the road. All that, I always post the gigs that I'm doing. With Grand Funk, we'll be in Atlantic City coming up soon this weekend. And Leslie West from Mountain, Mountain's opening for us, which I'm a huge fan of his. I can't wait to hang with him.
Me too.
So we'll be in Atlantic City at the House of Blues there. So, but there's always something going on, and the best way to keep in touch is social media like that,
Great, man. We got the links on the article page there. Bruce Kulick, Kulick, Kulick.
That's it.
Check him out. And Bruce, thanks so much for joining Greg and myself on Extreme Radio tonight.
Hey,
bro.
I appreciate it. And by the way, I don't have giant muscles like you guys, okay? But I do take care of myself.
Greg's the guy with the big muscles. I got the big nose.
Okay, all right,
guys. We can't play guitar like you. We can't play guitar like you.
There you go. Okay, all right. You guys could lift my furniture very easily. I know that. Okay.
We'll be the roadies.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
we'll
guys.
Be back
Thanks
after
again,
this
man.
break, boys.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night, man.
Streaming live. The leader in Internet talk radio. VoiceAmerica.com.
Hey, this is Dan Hardy from the UFC. You're listening to Gregg and Joe Extreme Radio.
Fitness RX for Men is the ultimate men's print publication, website, and radio show. More than just fitness, we'll also bring you the best news in sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. Fitness RX for Men was established first as a magazine in 2003. Be sure to visit our website, www.fitnessrxformen.com, and check out our social media pages for up-to-the-minute news and tips every day. It's your ultimate prescription for the perfect body. Visit fitnessrxformen.com today.
Listen for MD Radio on the Voice America Variety Channel.
That's Muscular Development Radio.
Every Monday, your host, Sean Ray, will take you inside the world of bodybuilding and health and fitness. The show will feature Hall of Fame bodybuilders, trainers, judges, and the future champions of tomorrow. Plus, you'll be invited to participate in our call-in Ask the Pros feature. And our Nutritional Spotlight will feature products that can help you achieve your fitness goals. MD Radio is broadcast live Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Hey, everybody, this is Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and you're listening to Joe Pietaro and Greg Valentino on Extreme Radio. Yeah!
Oh, how the fuck are you? Max Cook here. Let me tell you something. I had a lot of fun talking to Joe and Greg. Couple of top-shelf margaritas, those two. Now, you're going to do me a favor. You're going to go to YouTube, and you're going to type in Max Cook, Maxkoch, you strunts. And you're going to watch my videos. And you're going to fucking like them. Or we're going to have a problem.
Talk, talk, talk. That's all we do is talk. If you'd like to talk, call us toll-free right now at 1-866-472-5787. 1-866-472-5787.
That's it.
VoiceAmerica.com.
Hey, what's up? Mario Lopez here, and we're at Gio's Brooklyn Boxing Club doing a photo shoot for Fitness RX for Men.
You are listening to Fitness RX Radio with hosts Greg Valentino and Joe Pietaro. If you have a question or comment for our show today, please call 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You can also send an email to jpietaro@advancedresearchmedia.com. Now, back to Fitness RX Radio.
Thanks again, Bruce Kulick, formerly of KISS, currently of Grand Funk Railroad, joined in Greg and I tonight. That was a great spot. Really enjoyed that. But we have our A Slice of Brooklyn Pizza Tour, 2 tickets on the line right now for the first call of 1-866-472-5788. Greg, pizza tour, free tickets.
No green pizza, though, because it's...
No green pizza. No green pizza. This is red, white, and green guinea pizza.
Dude, not for nothing, but, these rock guys that we've been having on are pretty freaking intelligent. I mean, they're not burnouts like you might think they're going to be. They're not
they're fucking awesome, bro. They're fucking
right?
awesome.
I mean, we've had actors. I don't want to say names. We've had a few actors and other people on here that sounded fucked up. Meanwhile, you get these rock guys on there. This guy's 60 years old, he told us on the break, People, they weren't listening to it. We were talking on the break and stuff. He's 60 years old, man. That guy looks like he's freaking...
guy fucking kicks ass, though. So we want to get those pizza tickets. We want to give them to you. My good friend Tony Muya from asliceofbrooklyn.com. They have the show on the Travel Channel. You're going to eat like a fucking animal. You're going to feel great. But next week, Kevin and Steve from Beer Fest are going to be on. And also Andy Carl, the lead in Rocky. And also, we got some other good fucking great things coming on. We got Bumblefoot on the 19th of May. I'm just throwing some names out there. 5-5, we're going to have Ernie Banks and Brad Local. Brad Local is a stand-up comic, and he also is on World's Dumbest Criminals, World's Dumbest Parties, all those World's Dumbest shows. The Smoking Gun presents World's Dumbest, and Brad is he's a pisser out there. So, and then also on April 7th, the great Earl Campbell and Ian Anderson going back to some music. But yeah, we got some good shit going on. So let's get those pizza tickets given away. So let's get that first caller. Mike's going to have a call. He's going to be tapping me on IM now. I'm going to get that caller on who's on hold right now. Just waiting for the information.
Yeah, I just go on this fucking tour, Jim. Can't we just do the shit? Get some free. How come I never get anything free? Huh?
You don't get anything free? Yes, you do. You get to do this radio show for free.
Thanks a lot. The one thing I don't want to get for free. You know what I mean?
Oh, good helping, bro. I fucking had to.
Oh, that was a good one, Joe. Joe, that was a good one.
And you know what? So do I. 2 for 1. Just fucking 2 for. It's like 2 free pizza tickets, 2 free radio hosts.
Oh, 2 fucking jerkwads. But that's going to change today, right?
You know what, bro? Whatever.
Holy shit. Oh, my God. But, what was I going to say? Joe, I got to tell you something. Can I talk, or we got to...
Hang on a second. I'm getting an IM. Hold on. We got somebody on hold for the pizza tickets, so let's get the caller in. I got somebody named Brooke. Babbling Brooke is on hold. Brooke, where you from?
Massapequa.
Brooke from Massapequa.
Brooke, are you old enough to listen? Are you old enough to listen to Extreme Radio?
Yeah.
You sound young. I hope you're over 18.
Brooke,
I'm 18.
She's
18. I'm 18. Are you 18? Are you single? Are you single?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, Joe.
Brooke from Massapequa, you are the proud winner of a sliceofbrooklyn.com 2 free pizza tour tickets. So congratulations. And Greg, I don't know, we had 4 winners, 2 guys, 2 gals. So we actually have a female audience out there.
Well, you got to Brooke, don't hang up. You got to talk to our. You got to talk to Mike. He's going to get your address and everything. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Brooke. Thanks for calling. You won the pizza tickets.
Thank you.
Take care. Mike's going to do the honors on the other side of the hold here. Bro, I can't believe we got girls calling this show.
But
that's because we got good-looking guys. Mario Lopez, this fucking Rocky guy's coming on. Who else do we got that's good-looking? Bruce Kulick ain't bad-looking. Nice guy, right? Johnny P, fucking...
Yeah, Johnny P's not bad.
Johnny P's suave, man. We got fucking suave Johnny P. So go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that. I was getting it tight from Mike. So we got 3 minutes in the show left, Gregory. Let's fucking bang this bastard out like animals right now.
Well, I got to complain about something.
Please, go ahead.
All right, listen to me. As you know, I'm going to be 54, so I went to my doctor. Now, my doctor is very he's a very famous doctor, to be honest with you, in New York City. He deals with hormone replacement, right?
Okay.
And he's gay. And I actually even know his boyfriend. He's an older guy, though. He's almost 70 years old. And he's this gay doctor. And he's actually jacked himself because he's on shit and everything. Mm-hmm. And when I went to the thing, I brought my girlfriend with me, right? And when I went to do his, like he does this whole analysis on me and all this stuff, he actually checked my ass, right? Your asshole. You spread your cheeks, right?
Yeah, I know what an ass is.
All right. So, but I felt, even though I know him and I'm friends with him and shit, I felt violated because I told my girlfriend this. I shave, you know what I'm saying? Every week, you know what I'm saying?
Preaching to the choir, go ahead.
Yeah, and he goes to me, "Oh, you're so clean back there." dude, I swear to God, he didn't stick his finger on my ass or nothing, but he rubbed it, and I was like, I felt violated. I felt like a woman, when a guy looks up a woman's dress and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And you always say, what's the big deal? A guy looks up your dress, so what? You know what I mean? But that's how I felt. Because he goes to me, oh, you're so clean. Couldn't you just look back there? And why are you looking back there anyway? What does that have to do with hormone replacement? That's what I want to know.
Did he hold on to your shoulders while he was looking back there?
Dude, he runs the clinic in Brooklyn. It's in two places, Brooklyn and Manhattan. And he's famous. I mean, you know, all the pros, Victor Martinez, fucking Kai Green, all those guys. You know, and it's also an AIDS clinic too, right? Because they treat AIDS patients with hormones, and you know what I mean. Like, so there are a lot of AIDS patients, a lot of gay guys. Dude, he looked at my asshole and said, "It looks so clean," because I'm shaved, you know. And
I guess it's better than saying it looks like fucking crap, bro. You got fucking dingleberries hanging off your fucking ass hairs.
Yeah, but I'm glad he admires my butthole, but what the thing is that, so when he told me that, though, it's good enough you got to look back there, but when he told me that, you didn't have to tell me that. You know what I mean? Because like that, I felt just like a chick when the dude looks up her skirt, you know? Right?
You felt that, yeah. You know what? What you need to do is use it to your advantage. You know, they used to tell you when you're going to come too fast, you think about baseball or something, take your mind off of the load. Now all you got to do is think about your doctor looking behind you, wearing whatever he was wearing, dressed like RuPaul or whatever the fuck he was dressed like.
No, dude, this guy's jacked. He's an old man. He's like almost 70, but he looks old. He's really jacked. He was, I don't want to say who it is, you know what I mean, because I don't want to embarrass him and stuff. But I mean, like, me and Victor Martinez were at his birthday party. He had a huge birthday party, like when he turned like 67 or 68, I don't remember. It was a couple of years ago. You know, I brought my girlfriend. My girlfriend was like trying to suck Victor Martinez's dick at the whole show. But anyway, it was funny. She was all on his dick. I was like,
can't blame him, bro. He gets a lot of fucking ass, that guy.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. I don't know. I love Victor, but I wish I could have the ass he got. But dude, we're at the fucking thing, and the old man's belly dancing and shit. And it was kind of like all out there. But, dude, he looked at my answer to me. It looked so clean. Dude, I fucking was like, oh, God, why'd you say that to me? Like, I felt so violated. I felt dirty. I don't mean dirty as in, like, shit dirty. I mean, I felt like...
I
felt like I just got molested by a gay dude. You know what I mean? I would have rather him check my prostate with his finger. Why do you look at the asshole if there's no... You know, I understand you stick the finger up there for the prostate, but he didn't even do that. He just looked at it and, like, swiped it with his finger and said, "You're clean." What is that? That's what I want to know. Why did he do that?
I don't know. We're gonna have to fucking pick this up next week, and I'd love talking about fucking getting your asshole checked. So we're gonna have to pick this because we're out of time, Greg. So
I can never get answers to my
We're gonna have to talk about fucking getting your dick, your ass swabbed next week. So check us out next week. We have a great show planned for you. And check us out all week long at fitnessrxmen.com. Thanks to Artie Lange, Bruce Kulick, and thanks to Mike, our engineer. Great job as usual. For Greg Valentino, this is Joe Pietaro. Fuck off.
Thank you for listening this week. Gregg and Joe will be back next Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Variety Channel with another edition of Fitness RX Radio. Have a pumped week.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Variety Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericavariety.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.